Hi, this is Asa, and welcome to my audio experience. Whatever it is, great or small, just know we're here to help. Here to take you from where you are in your current state of health to where you need to be. That's what it's all about. And that's what this show is all about as well. Don't forget to check out the website. There you'll find out great information to empower your health and to empower your life. Let's go to the phones and talk with Donnie. Hi, Donnie.
And I'm experiencing some balding in the front part of my head. It's thinning of the hair. I'm only 22, and I'm a little worried about this.
Okay, well, a couple things to think about. Now, of course, when balding starts, it's actually can be fairly common. Guys, depending on what's happening as far as the aging process, depending on your age bracket, I mean, whether you're 25, 35, or 45, male pattern baldness can start from a multitude of reasons. It can come from stress. It can happen just from a genetic component, and that tends to be the theory, is more genetic than anything. And when you're dealing with something like, the male pattern baldness, it really lays in the cards. Now, if it's genetic, there's not much you can do about it. But there's a couple of things you can do to slow it down. Of course, there's minoxidil and the Rogaine, and there's a lot of different topicals that you can use. And then, of course, Propecia, which is the medication that's been used to help slow things down. But remember, those will also lower your testosterone levels because they can interfere in that pathway. So you got to be a little bit careful with that. Now, nettle root, from a natural perspective, nettle root you can get at your local health food store, and it's been known to help block DHT, which is dihydrotestosterone. And the DHT, of course, it's a byproduct molecule of testosterone. It's really the most potent and the most powerful. And when, of course, when the DHT it gets blocked, of course, that cuts down on the follicle dying out. So, I mean, that's really what it comes down to more than anything. You want to focus on getting that set up as much as you can. And at the end of the day, one key you have to look at that's really important is that if it is genetic, there's not a whole lot you can do. And just, it's being a guy, no guy wants to lose their hair. Now, they've got the different replacement methods, of course. The hair transplants that they have now, there's different methods you can look into from a cosmetic perspective. But I'm just not a big fan of using the medications because it lowers your own hormone pathways themselves. Probably not the best way to go. Now, some guys don't care. They'd rather keep their hair and let their hormones drop. So, that's really going to be up to you. But at the end of the day, you want to focus more than anything, making sure your body chemistry is where it needs to be and the whole nine yards. So, anyway, that's what I would look into. Testosterone, it's the byproduct DHT. It's in all the standard research of what that does, okay? 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You're listening to On Call Radio. Check us out. There you get all kinds of information to empower your health and to empower your life. Now, if you're looking for a lifestyle provider, someone in your area that believes the same way we do, all this nutrition and based lifestyle care. Of course, you can go to the website there, and our team can help you find someone in your area. Happy to help any way that we can. Go back to the phones, and let's talk to Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
The problem is my mother is 93 years old, and she's taken tramadol for pain, and she's been not eating, having trouble using with her kidneys, a little bit of blood in them.
Okay, so she's having a little bit of blood in it. Well, I mean, again, working with her primary care doctor is going to be the biggest tool in this, and making sure that they are on top of it. And again, the blood in it can be coming from several different factors. Of course, they're going to have to look at kidneys, and as they look at the kidneys and they do the blood work, and they'll check and do everything they need to do all the standard medical testing. And that'll help figure out exactly what's going on. But I would have that tested first. Now, from more of a nutritional perspective, again, with pain meds, no matter what area of the body is in pain, and no matter what you're really treating with that, one thing is for sure, making sure that the neurotransmitters and the brain chemicals are as healthy as possible. And one of the best ways to do it, of course, is managing can be very helpful. So if you manage dopamine levels, that's one of the big keys. And dopamine, of course, is one of the main neurochemicals. You can use, of course, plenty of the lean protein sources, chicken, fish, beef, or eggs. Pyridoxal 5-phosphate, P5P, has been very, very helpful in stabilizing that. And then also you got to watch out for the caffeine, because caffeine will split dopamine. As you split dopamine, one of the keys you've got to watch out for is tyrosine and phenylalanine. These are just two of the amino acids. Now, it doesn't mean you can drink all the caffeine you want and take tyrosine and phenylalanine. You don't want to do that either. But avoiding caffeine, using decaf versions of tea, for example, would be very helpful. But cutting that, raising dopamine levels, there's a lot of supplements out there at your health food store that can help with that. I like to use a lot of the whole foods, basically, to build those up as much as possible. And then you can kind of go from there. But omega-3 fats, that's a big one. And then also always look into that P5P. It's a different version of vitamin B6, but it works in an amazing way. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Check us out on the web. Now, so many people email and call and want to know about how to connect with us. Well, they're at the website. We've got all the different social media outlets. You can jump in with Facebook, Twitter, and also Instagram and all of those. They're at the website. And then our newsletter is out weekly now. Make sure to join that. You go to the website and you can join and sign in. Absolutely free. And it's a way for us to stay connected. We always release special information. We got recipes and shake and smoothie recipes. It's incredible. So make sure to go to the website and sign up for that. And don't forget, our TV show has launched, and we want to make sure you're catching that in your area. And we've got information there at the site as well. And coming up, we got more calls. I see you sitting there. Don't worry. I'm going to jump in and grab you. Real quick, I've got Dean in Birmingham. Wants to know, my doctor said that my testosterone level is low. Are there some natural ways to boost testosterone? Maca root, ashwagandha, zinc is important, and keep your fat levels to about 30%. And make sure your doctor checks on the blood levels. We'll be right back. Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
To find out more, connect with On Call Radio online at InShapeNetwork.com.
Lines are open, 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. What are you struggling with? Let's talk about it. Your health and your life. This show's all about you. It's all about your health. It's about going from where you are in your current state of health to where you need to be. Check us out on the web. Now, Americans are living longer than ever. That sounds good, right? You think about that, you always hear studies that say, oh, we're dying early and that sort of thing. Well, Americans actually are living longer than ever. The CDC, Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, said that now Americans are living longer than ever, and life expectancy is increasing every year. I mean, that really comes down to, I know that in a lot of the natural type content on the web and all, everybody knocks the different societies and the different organizations that say they're doing research for like cancer and heart disease and all that. And there are many places that kind of knock that. And, it's not my real opinion either way. One thing I do know, though, is that research is being done, and we are being more educated, and we are coming up with better treatments and in the medical world, and we are coming up with better lifestyle methods in more of the health and wellness world of being on the preventative side. We're learning more about exercise and its benefits, and we're learning more about what whole foods can do, and we're getting better at eliminating toxins from the environment. And we're understanding how to manage stress better, even in the middle of a very stressful world, seemingly. So in the middle of all that, we've got to look at the fact that our lifespan is increasing. I mean, it's pretty exciting to know that it's gone all the way up to about 78.7 years is the average person. Dr. David Katz, he's the director of the Yale University Prevention Research Center. And he said, to the extent that we all want a bounty of years in life, this report conveys encouraging news. I agree. Life expectancy at birth in the U.S. is rising for all groups. And in the years covered by the current report, life expectancy increased for both men and women. For males, life expectancy went from about 75 to those born in 2008 to 77, almost 80.6 years coming up. So that's pretty exciting. So it also changed by race. Of course, Caucasian, African American, Hispanics, they broke all that down. And they said it's been increasing steadily for about 50 years or so, which is great news. I mean, the great news I love about it is that we're seeing the improvements, all the work that we're doing and the research and the data and all this that we're working on makes a big difference. And we're learning now that it really can take us to the next level. Dr. Katz also said he really had no role in the report. He's just offering his opinion. But he says disparities in life expectancy persist both between men and women and between Caucasian and African Americans, he said. But life expectancy in the United States is still lower than for many developed countries around the world. So more importantly, this report is only about years in life, not about life in years. So it's about the quality. And recent analysis by the Institute of Medicine suggests that increases in lifespan in the United States are not really matched by increases in health span. So time spent living in good health, he said. So long life with high burden of chronic disease like diabetes and heart disease, chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD, means more time living with an illness or disability. So the life expectancy is greatly influenced by the advances in medicine and the public health system, while the health span is most affected by lifestyle practices. So again, it comes down to our choices that we make every single day. And it's exciting to see the real transformations in the system that are coming down the pipeline. It's all about the choices we make every single day and how well we can thrive, how well we can make it. And it comes down to attitude, too. Don't forget that our attitude every single day makes an incredible difference of what happens to our overall health. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. You're listening to On Call Radio. And check us out on the web. Let's go to the phones and talk with Lisa. Hi, Lisa.
I am plagued by severe hypnic jerks. They happen just as I start dozing off to sleep, and they are very acute. I was wondering if there's anything you could suggest for this.
Well, the leg jerks and all usually happen as a result of some kind of vitamin or mineral deficiency, but typically it's minerals. And with minerals, you've got to start thinking about magnesium, potassium, calcium, the basics. Now, stepping back just a couple of steps, understand that most people don't eat fruits and vegetables for the most part. I mean, some here and there, yes, but not on a consistent basis. And we know for a fact that if you only, I think it's 1.5% of Americans right now actually eat fruits and vegetables. So if we can get to a place where we can increase those, then you'll increase a lot of the mineral-rich content, the water content within the body, and that makes a major transition within our health. So a lot of the kicking and the jerking is due to magnesium and calcium. That's what typically can happen. And, of course, you just focus on getting those from dark leafy greens. You can get it from any of the real colorful fruits and vegetables. You cannot go wrong getting it from those. Now, you can supplement as well. Of course, they've got the different magnesiums. I like the magnesium chelates personally, and the glycinates are really, really good. You can get that at a local health food store. But the glycinates will come in and repair it really well, increases your sleep patterns too. Now, calcium is another bear in this that you have to look at. Now, don't forget that vitamin D3 is really the catalyst for everything that we see. And with the minerals, you can have all the minerals in the world going on in the bloodstream and in the tissues. But if you don't have enough vitamin D, it's not going to happen. So that's why getting a blood test done with your primary care is important, because getting that blood test done for your vitamin D levels to make sure they're good, making sure they're between 60 and 90 on the blood test per se. That's in the upper end of the range. When vitamin D is healthy, you are healthy. And you can really transform and go to another level when it gets to that place. So I would encourage you to have that done and get it checked out and have your doctor kind of look at all that. But your foods matter. What we put inside of our body matters. You've got to have the right stuff going in so you can have a healthy body with where you are. And that is what it's all about. Coming up, more information to empower your health and empower your life. Plus, we got our food of the day. You don't want to miss that. And we're going to jump in. And plus, there's more calls to get to. I see you waiting there, so don't go anywhere. We're going to jump in and get to you when we come back.
Did you know that you can listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
To find out more, visit the show online, InShapeNetwork.com.
About olive oil for a little bit. It's one of my favorites. And of course, you rarely see anything that says anything negative about olive oil. The only thing I don't like about it is you don't want to ever cook it, or when it becomes not so great is when you cook it over about 350 degrees. That's when you have to be a little bit careful, just because there's a possibility of that oil turning a little bit rancid into possibly a trans fat. But the health benefits of olive oil in general are incredible. So they all say, most cardiologists recommend about 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil a day in any way you'd like to do it. So you can put it over salads, you can mix it in with vegetables, whatever. But it bolsters the immune system. Of course, it helps to protect against viruses and, of course, bacteria. It just keeps the immune system strong. They also say it's got great benefits that are supportive to cancer. Believe it or not, phytonutrient in olive oil called oleocanol mimics the effect of ibuprofen in reducing inflammation. That's powerful, which can decrease the risk of breast cancer and its recurrence. And the squalene and lignans are among the other olive oil components being studied for possible effects on cancer. Heart disease, they're saying the olive oil helps to lower levels of blood cholesterol, leading to heart disease. And, of course, oxidative stress. You've got olive oil is rich in antioxidants, especially in vitamin E. And it's long thought to minimize the cancer risk. Now, among plant oils, the olive oil is the highest in the monounsaturated fat, which doesn't oxidize the body, and it's low in polyunsaturated fats, too. Now, the blood pressure is really interesting, too, because recent studies indicate that regular consumption of olive oil can decrease both systolic and diastolic blood pressure. The diabetes, they say it's been demonstrated that a diet rich in olive oil in low in saturated fats, moderately rich in carbohydrates, and soluble fiber from fruit, vegetables, pulses, and grains, is the most effective approach for diabetics. So it helps to lower the bad cholesterol and improves blood sugar as well. So as far as the insulin sensitivity and blood sugar levels, it can help tremendously. Now, obesity is another big one, too. So it's high in calories, but again, it's good, healthy fats. It's monounsaturated fats. Remember, fats don't make us fat. The healthy kind. And you get loaded up with a bunch of saturated fat, and that can be a problem. But The big issue is if you focus on the right kind of fats, they can make a tremendous difference. Now, let's talk about rheumatoid arthritis for just a moment, too. So a lot of reasons they say it's not really clear, so they don't really understand why that olive oil is so beneficial to arthritis. I mean, it lowers inflammation. That's enough sense for me right there. They're saying that it's a real key in rheumatoid arthritis, which, of course, has an autoimmune component to it. Now, osteoporosis is another one as well. A high consumption of olive oil appears to improve bone mineralization and calcification. So it helps calcium absorption, and it plays an important role in aiding sufferers in the preventing onset of the osteoporosis. So again, and they're also saying that it might improve and help against stroke. So according to a new study from France, older individuals who consume olive oil daily may be able to protect themselves from stroke, a new study said. But it's an ongoing study by the Journal of Neurology. Researchers gathered information recently on the medical records of about 7,600 individuals. And in this, which is really interesting, they found that the participants who had a risk of stroke was lowered by about 41%. So the olive oil reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes. We know it manages and regulates blood sugar levels. So just like anything like your nuts and seeds and that sort of thing, the olive oil itself is tremendous. As a matter of fact, the Journals of Diabetes Care showed that a Mediterranean-style diet, which of course is rich in the omega-3 oils, specifically the monounsaturated, they said reduces the risk of type 2 diabetes by 50%. Now that's not like 5%, that's 50%, which is a big deal. So that's why I say 30% of your diet needs to be in healthy fats. I will preach that till the cows come home, because our body needs it. Our body needs fat. Fat is not going to make you fat. We've got to have it. So getting your fats in makes a big difference in your overall health. We need the calories that come from that. It's good for our brain. It's good for nervous system. I mean, it's really powerful all the way around. And, of course, they're saying now all cardiologists just rant and rave because the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition has compared the effect of the Mediterranean-style rich diet in olive oil with that of a low-fat, high-carbohydrate diet, and it was night and day of what it did to cell damage. I mean, it was incredible. Now, olive oil helps to fight osteoporosis as well. So osteoporosis, of course, is the softening of the bones, and it's the decrease in bone mass, basically. So the disease is recognized by being particularly prevalent among postmenopausal women who have a decrease in the production of estrogen. And tests were carried out recently on rats showing comparable conditions to female menopause, which, you know, with one group being treated orally with olive oil. At the end of the experiment, the results found that rats not treated with olive oil showed a significant decrease in the calcium levels, and of course that made a big difference as well. So interesting. And they're saying now, of course, it can help against depression. And the bottom line with this is University of Navarra in Las Palmas, they did a study on this, and about 12,000 volunteers were in this project. It's interesting because in a study like this, they found that the risk of depression, or someone that had depression, when they took 2 tablespoons a day of olive oil, it changed their entire brain chemistry, their overall mood, and their outlook by 50%. I can't tell you, when you add fats to someone's diet, the right kind of fats, and they have any kind of issue. I mean, heart disease, they've got brain chemistry issues, depression, anxiety, back pain, neck pain, headaches, whatever. If you start someone, you don't even need to be a doctor. Talk to your friends. If you know somebody that's dealing with anything, ask them if they're taking fish oil or if they're using olive oil every day. I mean, something that simple. Getting the fats in your diet every day will make a tremendous difference. It's tremendous. I mean, it's incredible. Matter of fact, even with skin cancer, they did a study at the University of Tel Aviv in Israel, and they found that a diet that's rich in the omega-3 fats and rich in the monounsaturated fats like olive oil actually the skin created a resistance to the damaging rays of the sun because it's loaded with carotenoids. And the tomatoes, pumpkins, carrots, that sort of thing, even watermelons, contain incredible ingredients. So the olive oil is just tremendous and how it can do that. Now, one other of course, we talk about metabolic syndrome. If you don't know what that is, the metabolic syndrome, of course, is a combination. It's when we have metabolic syndrome, it's basically somebody has high blood pressure, they've got abnormal cholesterol and high blood sugar all together. Like it's just an abdominal obesity, so they have belly fat. So the metabolic syndrome is a connection to the obesity epidemic of our time, and big belly poisons our metabolism, and a poison metabolism will result in type 2 diabetes, heart attacks, and even sudden death. And so a new study concluded data from almost 530,000 people with the conclusion that Mediterranean-style diets, which include the consumption of monounsaturated fats, mainly in olive oil, fruits, vegetables, whole grain cereals, and low-fat dairy products, with your protein sources coming from fish, poultry, legumes, and low consumption of red meat, significantly reduce this whole metabolic syndrome that they talk about. So again, diet's a key. You want to make some major transitions in your life and really see a difference in the way that you feel day in and day out, then look at the way you're eating every day. That will make a big difference. And if you just do these little changes, the little ones, it's amazing. You just see the difference every single day. 888-283-7272. Lines are open with questions about your health. Check us out on the web. Quote of the day comes from Edwin Lewis Cole. He says, the degree of loving is measured by the degree of giving. And that's so true. So the way you give shows how much you love. You ever look at that? Ever want to know what your love cup looks like? Look at your giving cup. And that way you can kind of see. And you know what's interesting is with our health, which I think is so important, the way that we give and show our love to others will come back to you in your health. The reason is you can take someone that's depressed, okay? Someone that's in serious states of depression. They're really struggling on medications, the whole 9 yards. And you take that person and take them out into a place. Maybe it's to give to play. Let's say they love children, and you go put them in an orphanage where they're reading to the kids, or they're playing with the kids and making those kids' lives better, and get them out of their personal environment. All of a sudden, that person will come away with a feeling that is so much greater than what medication could ever give them. Why? Because they stepped out of themselves, out of their own situation, out of their own funk that they're in, and they poured into someone else. And they gave their gifts and gave of their talents and realized that they had value as a person and gave. And so the most powerful form of love is giving. And many times people that deal with depression, there's brain chemistry instabilities, but there's also love issues that are involved. So if you want to fix the love issue, fix the giving issue, and you will find that really everything will shake itself out, and you'll notice that you begin to feel better. That's so why if you ever get down in the dumps, go find a way to give. Give in an area that you know that you have gifts and talents to give in, and do it on a regular basis, and watch what happens to the way that you feel. 888-283-7272. Lines are open. Questions about your health. Check us out on the web. We'll be right back.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
You from where you are in your current state of health to where you need to be. Why? Because you matter. Let's go to the phones and talk with June. Hi, June.
Fred, pancreatic cancer, stage 4, and I was wanting some things I could do to improve my health.
All right, pancreatic cancer stage 4. Let's talk about it. And, one of the challenges, of course, as any physician will tell you, of course, the aggressive stages of pancreatic cancer. But the good news is that the body's always in a stage of regenerating. So if you can focus on, of course, as you've got a great oncology team, I'm sure, and listening to what they're telling you and following their protocols and everything, one thing you want to focus on that's extremely important is for them to help you, or to get a dietitian or a nutritionist to help you with your eating habits, because every day that goes by putting the right kind of foods in, you can help the body recreate and regenerate new healthy cells, because each day old cells are dying off, new cells are forming, and we get a brand new body every couple of years, right? Well, the pancreas are very, very sensitive. The pancreas is very, very sensitive, and the deal is you've got to be very cautious when you get into stage 4. I mean, you can get into the juicing and get into the really high nutrient dense whole foods with the vegetables and all that, and there's some great clinics that will help you walk through that process. And we got some down, I believe, in San Diego, and you got Dr. Gonzalez down in Texas, I believe, is where he's located. There's some great alternative doctors that are getting great results. So you might want to do some research and look into those. But I'll tell you from the basics, at this point, I personally am a big fan of blending the two theories together, especially at stage 4. And that's doing the traditional treatment, because you want to hit it as hard as you can and aggressive as possible, but you have to do something on the natural side to really support the body and to give it every chance that it can to really be supported. And so that's the real key. Now, along with that, to be really, really on top of it, I guess, as you would say, is don't forget, even in the middle of being weak or maybe tired and not really feeling that great, is to make sure you get plenty of exercise as much as you can, because it does so much with the body. It's great for the cardiovascular system. When you move the body at any level, if it's just walking or riding a bike or whatever it might be, you're increasing the lymphatic system, and our body's natural lymphatic system helps to get rid of toxins from the body. The more we can do that, the more you can help your body in the process of it kind of cleaning itself out. So those are tools you can use every single day. But pancreatic stage 4, again, it's a challenge, no doubt about it. But in the middle of all I just want you to hear me on this. In the middle of all the fear that might be in the middle of it, and of the doctors giving you the real stats and the real data that they have to do for ethics, and to let you know what's really coming down the pipeline, or technically what would, there's still hope, and there's still, something to think about. Is just the one that made you is, I believe, and I've seen with my own eyes, people that have come through some of the most incredible circumstances. So continue to have faith, continue to pray, and have people around you that will support you to keep you strong. And then also, more than anything, really reach out if it's you or a loved one that is fighting, and make sure that your eating habits, your lifestyle habits, your daily habits are in check, and that they're doing well, and that you've got a good game plan together. Have multitude of counsel through this. It's one of the best ways to go, okay? Call us if you need us. 888-283-7272. That's 888-283-7272. Check us out on the web. Let's go to Linda. Hi, Linda.
Calling in regards for my daughter, Christina. She has had low iron, and they have put her on iron tablets, iron pills, but apparently the body's not absorbing the iron pills. So now she's been going to iron infusions that take about an hour or so. I was just wondering if there's anything else that she's able to take by mouth instead of going to this iron infusions. I would appreciate it.
Yeah, the iron infusions, depending on how anemic a person is, typically the physicians, if they go to that level, it's pretty low. I mean, it's enough for them to want to intervene and get it up as rapidly as possible, because the iron itself puts oxygen into the cells, and that enough is extremely important. Now, the other key is there's liquid ionic iron, which is very easy for the body to absorb. It doesn't really create a lot of the constipation issues that's always a concern, and you might want to look into that. It's just a liquid ionic iron. But again, don't forget, and they probably already told you this, have someone that can work with you and look at vitamin C levels too, because even though she may have plenty of iron going in the body, it's important to get enough vitamin C, because the higher levels of vitamin C will help the iron absorb into the cells and the tissues. And again, plenty of fruits and vegetables, dark leafy greens. I'm a big fan of red meat. I like bison, a lot of the wild game type meat. It's loaded with iron. And so again, if you're dealing with anemia and you're off of all those kind of meats, that's where a lot of the challenge comes in. And getting the right foods and the whole foods back into the diet can play a big role. Let the doc know and get some blood testing done about every 3 months. Puts another hour in the charts. I want to thank our producer, Jay Patrick. Go tell one person something you learned on this show, and together we can transform the health of our friends, our families, and our communities.
Do you know you could listen to the Asa Rx audio experience on Spotify and Pandora? For all the ways to watch and listen, check out our show page at asarx.com/experience.
Hi, it's Asa. I'm giving you a copy of my best-selling book for free to help you in your health journey today. I'll pay for the book. All you do is just cover the small shipping and handling costs. Go to asarx.com and get your free book today.
This episode is over, but check episode notes for links to products and services you've heard about on this episode. Thanks for listening and subscribing. Please share the Asa Rx audio experience with others and stay in touch by giving us your comment or review.